Hare Krishna, welcome to the devotees in today's session of the Secrets of Bhagavad Gita. Om Atyanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupah Kada Mahyam Dadati Supadantikam Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Today we are going to discuss Bhagavad Gita chapter 2, text number 14. Matra sparshastu kaunteya shitoshna sukha dukkhadaha agamapayino nityas tam stitikshasva bharata. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. Translation: O son of Kunti, the non-permanent appearance of happiness and distress and their disappearance in due course are like the appearance and disappearance of winter and summer season. They arise from sense perception or sign of Bharata, and one must learn to tolerate them without being disturbed. Purport: in the proper discharge of duty, one has to learn to tolerate non permanent appearances and disappearances of happiness and distress. So, this is a very important point, particularly when it comes to following dharma. We should always keep in mind that following dharma would not be an easy task. There will be challenges in following all individual dharmas, whether it is Sri dharma or Brahmana dharma or Sannyasa dharma, Grihastha dharma. So, uh, the attitude in following dharma should be that following dharma is not going to be easy. There will be challenges, and we have to simply tolerate the disturbances which appear on their own in following dharma. And Prabhupada uh, gives some examples of how there are many challenges in following uh, particular dharmas, such as taking bath in winter, particularly in Magh Mas. So that's during January, February. So uh, taking a bath with cold water, particularly in winter, it's very uncomfortable. But one has to tolerate it. And similarly, uh, mothers have to cook during summer season, so it's very hot, and uh, to cook means we have to always be in touch with fire, so that's very uncomfortable. But regardless of such uncomfort or discomfort, a person is supposed to follow his individual dharma. So Arjuna, in this particular context, has been advised by Lord Shri Krishna to simply follow his own dharma as Kshatriya. It is understood that there are challenges in following Kshatriya dharma. So, what Arjuna was proposing, that I don't want to kill my relatives, don't want to kill my um, gurus, my superiors like Bhishma and Drona, because they are my teachers, and it will be very painful for me to kill them. However, the fact of the matter is that Kshatriya dharma is not easy, and Arjuna, being a Kshatriya, should have known this very well and should act on it. So now, when it comes to following, he should not hesitate. So, the such hesitation of following one's dharma is considered a weakness of heart, and that's what Lord Shri Krishna addresses here. Kshudram hridaya daurbalyam jaktotishth parantapa. So he will be using such sharp words, such as this petty weakness of heart is to be given up. So just give this weakness of heart and rise and fight with the full strength. So that is the instruction from Lord Shri Krishna to Arjuna, and for us, we have to take lesson from this particular context, that whatever dharma we are following, there are always challenges. Life is complex, and to follow dharma in such complex situations, it's often uh, very challenging, and sometimes it's very uh, unpalatable. But still, uh, we should keep faith that uh, if you do not follow dharma, however painful it may appear, then there is no other choice. The only other choice is adharma. So adharma can never be the choice. So it may appear that following adharma would be more comfortable uh, immediately. However, the result of following adharma, however comfortable it may be, is always painful. It is always full of distress. So we should have this shraddha, we should have this faith that uh, dharma cannot be given up at any cost. No matter how painful it is, we must continue our own individual dharma, because that is the attitude of a person in knowledge. So a person in knowledge would not deviate from knowledge. He would always act on the platform of knowledge. So that is a sign of a person in knowledge. So sometimes we may have some knowledge, but under circumstances we may try to avoid it, avoid that particular knowledge, or uh, may choose to act in ignorance by our own will. So that is up to us. But that is not considered someone who is in knowledge. That's not considered a person in knowledge. A person in knowledge means one who is situated in knowledge. So simply theoretical knowledge is not sufficient. So we have to always remind ourselves and raise ourselves to the platform of knowledge where we are always safe. For example, in Mahabharata, uh, we see Pandavas, they had to suffer so much pain. It was unthinkable for such a uh, pious people like Pandavas to suffer such a great embarrassment and great insult. But still, Maharaj Yudhishthir and other Pandavas, Mother Draupadi, they all followed their dharma, uh, even at the cost of losing the kingdom. So that is a great lesson for us. And similarly, we see in histories there are many great personalities whose lives are exemplary for us. So we should hear such narrations from the past, from our itihasas, from Puranas, so that we can always remind ourselves that uh, how one should follow dharma, even in uncomfortable situations. So that's for our inspiration. Let us continue. According to Vedic injection, one has to take his bath early in the morning, even during the month of Magha or January, February. It is very cold at that time, but in spite of that, a man who abides by the religious principles does not hesitate to take his bath. So that is the attitude of a person in knowledge, or one who is committed to following dharma. Similarly, a woman does not hesitate to cook in the kitchen in the months of May and June, the hottest part of the summer season. One has to execute his duty in spite of climatic inconveniences. Similarly, to fight is the religious principle of the Kshatriya, and although one has to fight with some friend or relative, one should not deviate from his prescribed duty. So Lord Shri Krishna is reminding Arjuna that how how could you forget the attitude of a person in knowledge? You are supposed to follow your Kshatriya dharma, and don't you know that such challenges often appear in Kshatriya dharma? Kshatriya dharma is, in one sense, uh, it's very harsh because sometimes we have to take uh, such decisions pertaining to our own relatives that may uh, go against our self-interest, but for the sake of citizens, to set a good example, we had to take such hard decisions. So Arjuna should have known this and uh, should not put forward such arguments for not fighting with Kauravas. So that's a reminder to Arjuna. Next, one has to follow the prescribed rules and regulations of religious principles in order to rise up to the platform of knowledge. Because by knowledge and devotion only can one liberate himself from the clutches of Maya or illusion. So that's another perspective or motivation why we should follow dharma at any cost. Because only by acting on the platform of knowledge and um, practicing yoga or bhakti yoga, we can uh, hope to achieve liberation. So there is some issue. Okay, let us see. I can change the internet connection now. Okay, what to do? Okay, let's see how it goes. Okay, so those who know that there are four purusharthas or four goals of human life, namely dharma, artha, kam, and moksha, and the ultimate goal is moksha. So to attain moksha, one has to follow dharma at any cost. Without following dharma, it is not possible to aspire for moksha. So, if someone wants to avoid dharma and still he wants to attain moksha, that is just an impossible proposition. It's not possible. So that was a motivation for us that if we are interested in atma shuddhi or self purification, if we want to go back home, back to Godhead, back to Krishna, then we must follow dharma. Bhakti is the highest dharma. However, if we want to maintain our body and maintain some social relationships, we need dharma. We have to act within the frame of dharma. So uh, it's not that we have to act whimsically, but regarding these social matters. Sometimes devotees may have this confusion or misunderstanding that for devotion we need Bhagavad Gita and some devotional scriptures. However, for social dealings we can do on our own. We will manage ourselves, but that is not true. For social dealings, also we need to take help of dharma. That is, the dharma basically uh, means order of Lord Shri Krishna. So for all function of the society, Lord Shri Krishna has kindly given uh, particular orders pertaining to each and every individual varna, varna and ashrama. So we have to simply follow those orders. Uh, so this understanding that regarding social dealings or even earning livelihood, we do not need anything. We can just act on our own and just get some livelihood by any means. So that is not a proper understanding. And another aspect is that if we don't have dharma or if we don't follow the order of Lord Shri Krishna in social dealings, by default we open ourselves or expose ourselves to adharma. So we may not be knowing it that we are supporting adharma, but that's a fact. We cannot simply avoid it. So there are only two things in the world, either dharma or adharma. So if you do it as per the orders of Lord Shri Krishna or as per the uh, laws given in scriptures, Vedic scriptures, then it is dharma. And if we go against those orders and try to do something on our own or whimsically, then it is adharma. So even in all religions, there are some set norms and restrictions. So a person is belonging to any particular religion is supposed to follow those social norms or rules and regulations. So whatever has been given by God or his representative should be followed to uplift ourselves toward moksha. So that is the essence of this context. Next, the two different names of address given to Arjuna are also significant. To address him as Kaunteya signifies his great blood relations from his mother's side, and to address him as Bharata signifies his greatness from his father's side. From both sides, he is supposed to have a great heritage. A great heritage brings responsibility in the matter of proper discharge of duties. Therefore, he cannot avoid fighting. So, here we can see how Arjuna was being addressed by Lord Shri Krishna as Kaunteya and Bharata. So Kaunteya refers to son of Kunti, and Bharata means a descendant of Bharata. So indirectly or directly, we can say that Lord Shri Krishna is reminding Arjuna that you belong to a responsible Kshatriya lineage, and you are supposed to act in knowledge. You, you should not deviate from knowledge. So sometimes addressing a person with a particular title helps that person to understand something. So here in the Vedic culture, as we had discussed earlier, that there is a particular way of doing something. So here Lord Shri Krishna accepting the role of a guru, first of all chastises Arjuna for his foolishness, and then reminds him again and again by these various uh, adjectives or titles so that Arjuna should understand the seriousness of his message. So the same thing should be applied in our daily life. Uh, we should always remind ourselves of our great parentage or being born in India, being born in Bharat Varsha, particularly in the Bharat Khanda. So we have a special responsibility. Bharat Bhumile Janma Hoila Ya Janma Sarthak Kari Kar Par Upkar. So that we should always bear in our mind that we can't simply ignore dharma. So those who are living in the Malaysia countries or Western countries or other countries, so they are not exposed to dharma as uh, we people living in India are. So uh, we should always recognize this privilege of being born in Bharata or particularly Bharat Khanda because this Bharat Bhumi, this particular Bharat Khanda is a very sacred place, and Lord Shri Krishna personally appears here, and many of his great devotees have appeared here, and they keep appearing here. So, uh, having received such blessings, we should not ignore uh, dharma and uh, bhakti dharma. So, for our maintenance of our body and society, we need dharma, varna, ashram dharma, and to elevate our soul, we need bhakti dharma. So we have to uh, follow both these dharma, ordinary dharma pertaining to varna and ashram, and bhakti dharma. So we cannot avoid it. So that's a humble reminder for all of us that uh, if we ignore such blessings or fail to understand the subtleties of dharma, or how to act in society, or how to act in our personal life, and how to imbibe devotional service in the within dharma or while following dharma. So that's a uh, we can say a privilege to us, those who are born in Bharat Khanda. So Prabhupada also somewhere mentioned that Indians have a responsibility to preach the message of Bhagavad Gita. So because Bhagavad Gita has been spoken in Bharat in the Kurukshetra, and since childhood we somehow or other come in touch with Bhagavad Gita slokas, and somehow that we know that we have to go to the temples and we have to respect different deities, and we have to uh, recite from different shastras, Bhagavad Gita, Ramayana, Mahabharata. So it's a privilege to us, and we should take advantage of it. And in turn, as a responsible person, we have to distribute this knowledge to each and everyone we meet. Jare dekho tare kaha Krishna Upadesh. So that's our great responsibility being born in Bharat. Okay, I will stop here because time is also up. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्रीमद् भगवद्गीता की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे कृष्ण।